Okay, so let's start now the last Mamer on in Likutei Tora in Shir Hashirim, and this brings us basically to the last of all of the Maimorim of Likutei Tora. I want to really express Hakoras Hatov to the Eberster and to my Chavrusas for helping me complete the entire. I never imagined that I would be able to complete the entire Likutei Tora. We did the best we can. We went through all the different Maimorim. We started off with the Torah Oir, and for many years we've been studying, and slowly but surely. So I hope that we, as we always say, that we chazer and we go back and we learn it over and over again. This is just a first review, but of course there's a lot more depth and there's a lot more explanation and a lot more time need to be really spent to fully comprehend. Okay, anyways, biur. This is a biur on the Mamer, biur al posik kasher השמים chulu that we were learning before. Hine השמים b'chinas tshuva ilo. You have Shamayim and Oretz. Shamayim is the higher level of Teshuvah, as opposed to Oretz, which is the lower Teshuvah Tator. What does it mean, Hashamayim Kisi? The higher level of Teshuvah law is Kisi, hu hashpolos haguva hamidis. That's lowering the body and the midis. On a chair, you sit down. You sit down, you lower yourself. When we talk about the level of the Ein Sof, what is Nimshach through the level of Shamayim is Kisi, the Guf and the Midos, meaning the Guf, the Midos of Atzilus. Zeir Ampin, Zo of Atzilus comes down. Hine, Isu b'tikunim, you find in the tikunim, sheba'atzilus ihu v'garmoi yichad. Over there it says that within Atzilus, ihu, he, v'chayoyi means his life force. As we teach it, this is the level of oiris. And also v'garmoi and the kelim. So he and his oiris and his kelim chad behoin is one in them. In Atzilus, Ihu, Hashem, the oiris and the kelim are really one. Explains that. Hine neshama nefesh ruach neshama yesh lahem b'chinas kelim. In the soul, the level of nefesh, ruach, and neshama, they have vessels. Vessel means that the oil dresses up in a limited way, and there's a keli. That's the garmoyi, that's the keli. Hainu, that means sheheim b'chinas oil pnimi shemislabish b'keli. They are an inner light which dresses up in a keli. Specifically, nefesh, ruach, neshama, the three levels of the soul. Neshama is in the moyach, that's in the brain, the intellect. The ruach and the spirit is belev chul. That's the level of nefesh, ruach, and neshama. Ubchinas chaya yichida. But the level of chaya yichida of the soul, ein lahem b'chinas kelim. They don't have vessels. They don't manifest themselves. They don't come down into kelim. Hi'im heim b'chinas makif levad. They are just surrounding alone. V'hein beis makifim. And those are two makifim, chaya yichida. which is the letters of Lamed Mem Ditzelem. The Eibishter said that Bitzelem Elikim, in the Tzelem of Elikim, Hashem creates man. The Lamed and the Mem of Tzelem are the two levels of Chai Yichid. The Yuvon al derech Moshul, we understand by example, Ba'odom on the Royim, that we see by a person sheyesh bechinas oir v'kli b'chochma shebemoiche. We see that there is the oir in the keli and a keli in the chochma that is in his mind. The chochma, when we say the power of chochma, has two parts. It has an oir and a keli. Oir v'keli. V'gam levush, and also a keli, also a garment. The hine koyach hasichli hamaskil al kol dvar chokma. That power of the brain, of the intellect, that is able to understand all matters of wisdom, that is not from the essence of the soul. The power of understanding is not the essence of the soul. That is only an expansion of the soul. That power to understand isn't the soul itself, but it is actually the soul expands into understanding. And that's why, because it is a hispashtus only, yesh boy shinui, there is changes. Pam hu begadlus, upam loike. Sometimes it's big. His mind is clear. He's able to come up with great ideas. Upam loike. Sometimes it's not so. That his mind, his intellect isn't clear, isn't pure, but is connected. So that means that it's not the soul. Because there is this changes, that's not the soul, because Vanefesh Atzma ein shayich bo shinui. The soul itself, it doesn't apply to it any changes. How does it come, these changes? Because it's not the answer from the soul, it's a hispashtus. But the power of the seichel, who bechinas kli, that's a level of a vessel, shemekabel hashefa nimshach loy ma'nefesh, that receives the flow that extends to that power of seichel from the nefesh. V'hanefesh hi ha'oir ha'me'ira b'toich ha'seichel shu koich ha'seichel. The soul is the light that shines inside of the vessel, which is the power of seichel. So basically what he's trying to say, that the power of seichel is merely a vehicle for the expression of the soul. The soul itself is not power. That's the oil. The vehicle to receive the nefesh is the koyach haseichel. Can't be the nefesh itself because there would be no changes. Here we have changes. It says in the parentheses, there's the concept in the Kabbalah. There is the ear, which is even higher than the hidden moyach. Sheyesh loymar, we can say shezehu ha'oir ha'meir l'koyach ha'seichel. What is that avira? That is that light that shines to the seichel. Seichel is the keli. because he called it here Avira, but Avira and Oir is almost the same level. Over there, so this is like the Oir. Badvar Chokma Shemaskil and the Koyach HaSeichel. So, Badvar Chokma Shemaskil. And then on the other hand, so you have the power of Seichel, the Nefesh is the shine. And that item of wisdom that the person understands, Hakoyach HaSichli, the power, that intellectual power, Kemoy, for example, Chochmas HaTchuna V'Tumiyah, to understanding the science of Tchuna, that's the creations, the stars, all the atmosphere, the Tchuna, and similar, Masha Mevin Eze Dover Proti, that what he understands, something specific, Zeurak Bechinas Levush Malbish's Koyach HaSeichel. That is only a levush that dresses up the power of the seichel. So that's as far as the intellect goes. Likewise is also in the idea of the emotions. The power of love that the person desires an item, something. And also the power of kindness. That's a vessel to the soul. Similar to above, that the power of the seichel, that just like the seichel is a koyach to the nefesh, so is the power by the midas, the power of Abba, a kli to the oir, that's to the nefesh. And second chesed, it is the externality of the emotion. The fact that he actually brings chesed, what he does, that is the level of a garment. So there's basically three levels. You have the oir, you have the kli, the midah, and you have the externality that you do, that the midah accomplishes, that you actually do kindness. That's the level of the levush. Said before, we have a keli and a levush. The koyach hachesed nikra hitzoinis hakli legabe koyach ha'ava. The power of chesed is referred to as the externality of the kli relative to the power of love. The inner of the kli is the level of ava, that love. Chesed is the externality to so the chiddush over here now is that midos, having them resting, the nefesh, the oir comes from the nefesh itself. So just like there's an oir that comes into the keli of the koyach haseichel, the masculine, the same thing, there's an oir in the midos from the nefesh itself. But l'chayre, the midos are a result of the seichel. Why do we say so? It seems only that the seichel is what brings about the level of emotion. When a person reflects and understands, then it becomes an attraction to that which he understands. But here we're saying that he's connected to the nefesh. An oir from the nefesh is mislabish in the kli of the midos in the koyach ha'ava, av shelachayda nira, even though that the way seemingly it appears, sheis havus hamidos urak mehaseichel, that how our midas come about from the seichel, nothing to do with the nefesh itself. It seems that they are mishtalshel, they result from the seichel. As the pasuk says, kifi lefi sichloi yehulol ish, according to the intellect, a man is praised, which means that the midas go by the person's seichel. So that's relative to the seichel is the midas. But notwithstanding that, they are also vessels to the nefesh, notwithstanding that they were created from the seichel. The light of the soul shines, extends, and shines in them. It's only that they are further away from the soul, the emotions. They get from the soul through the intermediary of the intellect, through Chochmah Bin Das. That by way of the moichin nimdad v'nimshach hashefa v'oir hanefesh la'hakelim. Through the moichin is measured and extends the flow and the light of the soul to the kelim that the midas. So it gets through them, but really it has the oir is from the nefesh itself. Nimtzo klal ha'ila. So what does it come out from this? Of all that, what is the result of all this explanation? That shekol eser b'chines hanefesh, that all of the 10 souls of the nefesh, which is Chabad, Chagas, Chochmah Bin Das u'Midas, hemrak kelim shel hanefesh. They're only vessels of the soul. V'hi hanefesh. And the nefesh is what shines in them more. But as we explain it in the intellect, that there is the light, we understand it better than we understand it by the midas, because the midas seem to come from seichel. So when we explain, it still has the oil. But yet, in all of the essence spheres, we have the Oir of Hashem. Then he's going to continue to explain how it applies to the Olam HaAtzilus, but I'll leave that for next time.